This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Revival of America podcast. This is Jenny. I'm the owner and the host of the Revival of America. Can you guys let me know here on X? Can you just request a mic? Can you guys hear me okay? Just request that mic, and that'll let me know that, or give me an emoji that you guys can hear me okay. Over here on X, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, thank you, Nikki. All right, so let me go over here, Rumble and X Live. Can you guys hear me okay? Just make a comment in the comment area and just let me know that you guys can hear me okay. All right, anyway, welcome to the Revival of America, everybody. This is Jenny. I am the owner and the host of the Revival of America. First off, I want to wish my podcast a very, very happy birthday today. We are going into our 6th season today, and I'm super stoked about it. So happy birthday to the Revival of America that I created 6 years ago. So I'm super stoked that you guys are all here. Because remember, everybody, it's because of you that the Revival of America can even be a podcast. So I want to say thank you to not only my audience, but also my guests. So thank you guys so much for continuing to want to come in here, listen, learn, be a part of the conversation by asking questions or even just listening. So I appreciate you guys all being here. And yeah, so let's get started. I'm not having any shows next week, everybody. So I'm going to go out for a little mini vacay, celebrate my 6th season here. And but I will come back the following week and be full blown in the podcast. So also to everybody, we are being listened to in over 150 countries. It's actually 152 now. So if you guys come into this podcast late and you want to listen to the replay, you're more than welcome to go follow the podcast on the podcast host or my social medias, which are iHeartRadio, Spotify, Anchor, Apple, Google, Breaker, POCKETCAST, Riverside, Podbean, Amazon Music. Social medias are Jenny Jeread Facebook, at Jenny_Jeread X, at JJeread Rumble, at JJeread True Social, at JJeread Instagram, and the Revival of America over on YouTube, and the Revival of America over on Telegram. If you guys don't mind over here on X Live, please go down to that purple pill and repost this. Let's get some people in here to listen to Mr. Rubberduck, because he has a lot of great information. Okay, I'm doing this on my computer today, and I don't think I like it. Normally I do my X Spaces on my phone. So I'm trying to give Rubberduck the co-host. How do I do this? Oh, don't tell me I'm gonna have to restart this. Rubberduck, request a mic. Let me see. Let me see here. Okay, there we go. Rubberduck, did you get it? Let me see. Invite. Okay, there you are. I'm figuring out in real time, guys. All right, Rubberduck, did you grab the co-host? Let's go back in here. Oh, I don't even like this. Guys, I apologize. Okay, Rubberduck, are you there? Okay, hold on. This isn't working, guys. I may have to. Okay, there you are. Hold on. I'm approving you. Is it not letting you take it? All right, guys, I may shut this one down and go. Do you not get it? Okay, everybody here, I'm going to shut this one down over here on my computer. I'm going to reopen a space over here on my cell phone. I apologize, guys. I'm trying to do different things with the sound and stuff with my computer. So give me a couple seconds, and I'm going to reopen. So watch for the space, guys. I do apologize.
Can you hear me now?
Well, what the hell? There you are. Okay. Okay, cool.
I'm a speaker. Now I'm a co-host. Oh, okay. So there you go.
Okay.
Oh,
Yay. Okay.
Yeah. And we're still right on time. Right on time. It's 2:01, but we were here too.
Okay. Well, anyway, guys, I'm glad you guys are all here to help bring in my 6th season of the Revival of America. So I'm not going to go into the
Congratulations, Jenny. Did you do your little opening yet?
I did, but I'm going to leave it at that because I know we've got 90 minutes with you today. So everybody should have memorized my PSAs by now. I say it all the time. But how are you, Rubberduck?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. I'm just recovering from, last night. It's like, looking through some of the documents and stuff. I mean, Trump just posted something like 20 minutes ago, and I was about to like make it because it's a pretty big deal. And it's about he posted 2 documents from the NSA.
Okay.
And you want to get into it now, or do you want to? Well, whatever you want, wherever you want to go. If you got something you want to talk about.
No, I want you to talk about that, but I do want to let everybody know here real quickly. Again, if you guys can repost a space, get more people in here, and if you want to request a mic because you have a question for myself or Rubberduck, please feel free to request. I am doing this off of my computer today, so bear with me. I've not done it before, so I'm learning as I go on the computer.
Is it that different, Jenny, or does it look the same more or less?
It's different, so bear with me.
Thank you for using me as your experiment, dear. Well, at least if it fucks up and shows down, at least we could laugh at it.
Well, if that happens, guys, we will reopen. So,
absolutely. Actually, it sounds pretty good though. The sound, the voice, the tone of the voice sounds pretty good.
Good. Well, you're coming across very good, and I'm trying to because sometimes you get that little tinginess when you do, and I can hear when I play them back.
None of that. The timbre is there. I mean, the way I hear it, everything sounds excellent.
Sweet. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So please, everybody, if you want to request a mic, please do so. We will open your mic. If I can't do it, Rubberduck can do it. But yes, Rubberduck.
Yeah, I'm here on the phone, so if you need any help with that, I'm here too.
Okay. Cool. If you guys didn't watch the speech last night, it was short to the point. I who knows? I didn't know how long it was going to be, but it was really short to the point, very direct. Let's talk about that, and then let's go into your NSA stuff because I think it's all going to tie together, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, and it all tie. Ratcliffe is a big player. All right, guys, hold on one second. I got to throw my bird against the wall here. I'm not going to do that. Come on, honey.
Is it a cockatiel or cockatiel?
Yeah, this is Melania. She's like very attached. Very attached, and I love her. But when I talk to you, they think I'm talking to them, and they try to mimic me. And they're not that old yet, so they can't speak yet. So they're just like chirping and shit.
Did you say Melania?
One's Melania because we can't tell yet if it's a girl or a boy. And we got Trumpy because he's got the Trumpy yellow hair that goes up, and I got 2 new girls. Don't know what to name them yet, but they're like 2 months old. And the ones that you hear like chirping, those are two finches. And then the one that sounds like a bird that I'm choking, that's my quail. That's his love song, actually. And that's my porch, my 12 by 6 porch that I sit on.
Little man cave.
That's it, and it's all I have the screen. I got my lake sitting out here with my neighbors, and Military Trail is right over yonder. So yeah, it's cool though. Well, I love it. But listen, last night that was what Anons have been waiting for. What Q's been talking about is, the running theme is that we've had all these different movies. Remember the Q post with like the movie posters, like Panic in DC, Pedophiles of the Galaxy or whatever the fuck, like all different things. And they've always said that they've always been running in the background all along as different various movies that would each take a front row seat on the TV and internet, as it were. So what happens, but what we've all been waiting for is, some people call it D-class, some people call it declass, but it's declassification. So what Trump has done, and he put some, he declassed, some very specific ones first. It wasn't overwhelming. Like the Epstein dump or the alien or any of the past dumps, because it came directly, because they had to follow exactly what Trump said. See, unlike the other disclosures, where, as everyone noticed, Trump has, for optical reasons, Trump has always stood far away, and although he's opined and he's answered questions about it, it's always been about himself personally and from afar, because he you could look at it from a political point of view, from a optics point of view, you can look at it as the movie, the show, but he won't be talking about that. And Q always told us that. He won't be getting that deeply involved. So when he said what he said last night, the way that he said it, it didn't come from the Oval Office. He was talking to the press. So that's who was in there. He had people in his cabinet and whatnot, but that he was talking to the press. And his cabinet was there. So he was giving directives directly to the cabinet. And when he closed it by basically telling the world why he did the speech, politically speaking, and that was to pass the Save America Act, right? In other words, that was the political tone of it at the very end that it took, right? So that the normal people watching that were talking, like thinking, what the fuck is he talking about? Isn't this over with? Like, why is he, okay, I'll take a look at it, but whatever. And then the hook at the end with the Save America, basically Trump is winking to the other side saying, listen, this is all the leverage that we have. Pass this. You're fucked anyway. Pass this. You know, those of you that are still hiding, those of you, the low-hanging fruit that are, you know, trying to run with these machines, the local governments, the mayors, all of these people, Senate, Congress, that are all kind of teaming up together to circle the wagons, you know, for one last time. You know, and we all know that Trump has attached a national emergency to this passing of the Save America Act. So that affords him certain powers, you know what I mean, by the president, you know, by the executive office. So that said, by him saying what he said, not just delivering the actual news, you know, of what he thought, you know, that it wasn't Russia, you know, so just by him saying that it wasn't Russia, all of a sudden that casts a doubt on his 2 impeachments and the Russia collusion hoax. You know, so in other words, all of that has to be impeached. I'm using that for a reason, like unwound, unfucked, if you will, reset back to zero, if you will, taken off the record, expunged, however you call it. Because when the president of the United States, he makes a presidential address and it's on the record, and he's stating empirical facts based on prima facie evidence, which I'm looking at on my laptop, and I have been. You know, and I don't think the news is going to get a hold of this. So again, I believe we will come to one of those impasses where we get to the point where we're like, yes, they're fucked, and then, you know, fucking nothing happens. You know, not nothing happens, but something has to happen from this, and I don't know if it's going to be Trump that goes up and says, you know, I call for the arrest of these people. I don't know if he's got the power to do that, but he is the head of the most, you know, the most powerful law enforcement force, you know, in the United States. He is the chief law enforcement officer, so maybe he could. I don't know. Like, I don't know how all that plays out. But what he did last night is he declassified everything connected to the keystone of this whole thing, which is the 2020 election. Everything leading up to it, the apex, COVID, everything, then through Biden, the downward spiral into getting our noses rubbed in shit, right? And then now back to President Trump. Now we got the power. We did our job. We got him back into office, right? Everything Q is back in play. First thing he does back in office is he announces himself as Q+, because he announces it on Truth Social. He does it with a meme. You know what I mean? So now we understand the structure coming into play now. You know, the Q thing is going to be public, and Q+ is going to take the lead, right? And once he takes the lead, it's just him and us anons, because the Q team is in play, you know, and it's the show. So the people that are now a part of the Q op, in my opinion, are some of the, and I'm talking about the actors, and operators, I should say, operators. I guess they act as both, but I think those are the ones that are in play that we see. Characters, you know, here for the reason of bringing the republic back to the front. In other words, all for one, one for all. You know, either they're hired to do it, they've been capitulated into doing it, forced into doing it, their heart's in it. There are some of those, right? So somehow, maybe not with all, you know, it's like you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you might find you get what you need, you know, and we might not all get exactly what we want, right? And I haven't wanted anything, you know, other than the truth and peace and, you know, to save the children. But what I'm talking about in pursuit of the truth, you know, I think that we're all going to get to the same place, and it's all going to start with this. I've been talking recently, you know, for maybe, who knows, a couple of months or a couple of weeks, a lot more, about different threads of narratives that are like, you know, little sticks in the sand, and that they're left above so that anyone can come by and here, you could pick the child trafficking narrative. Oh, no, you don't want this one? Take the election narrative. There you go. You don't want that one? All right, take the alien one. Boom. Bunch of narratives, and they're all like cut off strings waiting to be picked, you know, when they're ripe, right? And what Trump just did is he picked the one that is tied to all of them. We know they're all connected, But it's like I said yesterday, the Woody Woodpecker episode with the log jam. That this one log holds up this whole log jam, and if you pull on it, the whole log jam will come down. So, in other words, by pulling on the 2020 election, he pulls on the theme that's most closest in people's minds and conscious because we have the midterms coming up. But then as he pulls that iceberg up out of the water, like imagine a big pole connected to a huge iceberg that we've only seen the tip of, and he's pulling that motherfucker out of the water and he's exposing it. And the way it'll move, I think, as quickly it will move, I think, is as much as the mainstream media will report, number one, and I believe number two, it's incumbent on us, to continue talking about it, especially the stuff that's declassified, to get it up to the mainstream media level. Even if we can get it onto Newsmax or even like Fox fucking News or something like that. So, because that's the only way it's going to be planted into the national consciousness. That's my opinion about that. So what Trump just did is, he unlocked the door of doors. That was the D-class that we were waiting for. And he didn't put a lid on it. And, this is the one thing that could have stopped the elections. But one thing that Trump mentioned during that speech was, that, we need to do this so that we can have the elections. You know what I mean? That's quid pro quo. You give me safe elections, pass the Save America, you know what I mean? And you don't get wrath and hell, which you'll get anyway. But you're first going to do this. You know what I mean? Like when Luca Brasi, you know what I mean? Either your fucking blood or your signature, is going to be on that fucking contract, and may your first child be a masculine child, So, so that's like, I think that's a good opener, right? That's what I thought I heard, at least when I kind of put it together and shaked it up a little.
Yeah, no, that was great. I love it. And bear with me, everybody. I'm not doing this again, just so you know. Because I forgot I was streaming over through Rumble Live and X Live, but because I'm on the computer doing the X Space, there's something interfering with the sound that they're not hearing it over on Rumble and Live X. So I apologize for that, guys, but I will get the replay up, and I'll get it on over to those locations. Tina Q, you had your hand up. I see Jersey, you came up as well, and AQ. So go ahead, Tina Q, and then
I
Jersey.
just want to remind everybody to listen to President Trump last night. Rubberduck just said what I just did today. I called my senator, who is one of the most corrupt senators in Nevada, and they asked me for my name and my zip code, and I also went off on their assistant or whoever answered the phone because I know she voted against the American Safe Act. And I told the gentleman that I spoke to that if she votes against it again, I said it shows me that she's complicit and into election interference and that she will probably be arrested. So I know for a fact that she didn't win her senator's race because everybody out here hates her. So I will beg everybody on here to please call your senator and not only tell them to pass it, but look up and see if they denied it the first time so you have some ammunition behind you. Thank you, and that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Tina.
All right, go ahead, AQ.
Yeah, hey, good summary, Rubberduck. And man, what did I
Did I
call it?
lose
Or
you? Is
what?
anybody talking? I can't hear anybody.
No,
Can
you
you
may
hear
want to go
me?
out and come back.
AQ's talking.
Yeah, it's definitely you're right, Rubberduck, and I'm glad I nailed it when I called China election interference being the topic of Trump's speech. But I've been saying this for a long time, and it's just it's inevitable that we're right because we know things, but we just don't know when's, right? But this is huge because it's like the floodgates are wide open now, and I guarantee you, eventually, this is going to lead to Ukraine CrowdStrike, more election interference. That leads directly to what we're saving for last, of course. So we'll see how soon that happens, but I don't think it's going to take very long, you guys. I think we're there. I think it's about to start happening pretty fast. So it was a great speech last night, and I mean, this is gonna open up everything. Convid, right? Convid, all that. It's just, this is what we've been waiting for. Like you said, Rubberduck, I'm here for it. Let's fucking go.
Hey, Rubberduck, can you bring Tina Q back up here? Go ahead, Dr. James.
I see her
I'm
up here as
back.
a speaker.
Oh, okay.
I'm
All right,
back.
go ahead, Dr. James. Or Jersey, wait a minute. Jersey, did you want to say something, sweetie? I don't see your hand up, but I know you came up.
Oh, I just wanted to tell Duck that he can name his little bird Jersey Girl since it is a girl. That's all.
Oh, I like that. My wife would like that too. I
I
love
know
it.
she would.
Oh, it's done. Wait a minute. Come here, Jersey girl. All right, I'm going to name the white one. Oh, wait until I send you all a picture of it. I'm going to put it up in a little
Oh,
while.
yay.
Thank you.
Real quickly, guys, go down and repost this space. Nobody's reposting. We'll get some people in here, guys, because I know, unfortunately, I'm not streaming through Rumble and X Live, so I apologize, but we will do something different next time. Go ahead, Dr. James.
Yeah, hey, y'all got to stop. You know where I went to high school, RD. You guys got to stop with the Jersey girl thing, okay? Because, reliving my youth and all.
Never.
So yeah, I wanted to say something. Tina Q I know she mentioned it last night too, and today about, get on the phones, call your congressmen, call your senators, call them all, flood their lines, and let them know what you want about the SAVE Act, right? So, like, normally when congressmen or members of Congress are listening to their constituents, that works. But if you think through the problem, right, these people are bought and paid for. So they could literally have every single constituent that they have call up and leave messages and talk to them demanding they vote for it. And these people will not vote for it, right? I mean, no matter what. So, yeah, I mean, I agree that, like, normally we should do that, but like it's not going to change them, right? These people are not going to change their votes based upon pressure from constituents. They're being paid to not vote for this thing, right? So they're not going to go against that for no matter what, right? They're going to have to, like, this is going to ride out to the end. They're going to get caught and busted and it's all going to go down. There's literally, though, no way they can back out now. They're too far in, right? So, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's cool and all, and normally that's what we want to do, but I don't think it's going to make any difference at all at this point in time. You know what I mean? Um, if people gathered around the offices and like went to visit in person, it'd make more of a difference if you had 1,000 people show up the office someday and say, "Look, we're like all your constituents or whatever it is, and we want you to do this." Or you know what I mean? That might make a difference, but I don't think you're gonna make the big difference by flooding the phone lines with this one, right? I don't know.
What are your thoughts?
In my personal life, I've tended to agree with Doc. In fact, I've made every effort to stay as far away from the system as I can. With the exception of voting. Where I take part, and will do whatever I can at that point in time. But I have no interest in interacting with the corporation personally.
Thank you, Rubberduck. Thank you, Dr. James. All right, go ahead, Tina Q.
I just want to say I agree with you 100%, Rubber Duck and Dr. James, but I enjoyed saying this. What made me feel good is that she will probably be arrested. So I agree with you. They're all paid, and
The reason
Nevada.
why I didn't say anything is because I don't know what you look like, but I have a picture of what you look like, and I could picture you on the phone with your voice telling them how you feel and enjoying it.
I don't have much, but I have a voice. And for me, I can't stand Jackie Rosen. She's a piece of shit, and she's the worst senator. And we have a horrible governor also. But I enjoyed letting them know how I felt, and they know that I'm a Republican because I gave them my name. They didn't ask, but I enjoyed saying that she's probably going to be arrested. So
Next time you call, promise you'll screen record it so that we can hear it, because
oh,
that would go viral.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know she's going to probably be in big shit, because of what happened here with the mail-in ballots and all those. He brought it up, Nevada and all those people with their illegal votes. So I just can't wait until we get to the accountability side, and at least I put that in their ear, and that made me happy.
Thank
You
you,
go,
Tina.
girl. Girl power.
Amen. Thank you, Tina. All right, go ahead, AQ.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Jenny. So the the interesting thing to me is that China and their involvement. I mean, Trump spoke with Xi, and so there was a coordination before he dropped this bomb on the world stage, right? And the real stuff is coming after this. He was setting the stage with the bomb he dropped last night. It's absolutely booms. But I don't know how many people know this or don't know. China, it's very interesting because the Republic of China is one place, and in Beijing they have a very interesting class system. It's actually very civilized. So the Christian people are kind of they're high class. It's a very civil culture and society. But outside of that, Christians are persecuted in a despicable, violent way, and that's the CCP. So the Chinese Communist Party is different than Beijing and with the Republic of China, essentially. So I think it's very important because it's a distinguishment. And I spoke with some military people last year at a tap room who told me that the military was planning on going to war with China. So it's possible that there's still going to be some surface level activity in regards to that, but it's also distinctly possible that that's being avoided and managed in a way that exposes the CCP. And I mean, this whole process is exposing this massively curated disclosure operation. Certainly includes identifying communists and discrediting them and taking away their manipulative power. So it's optimistic, perhaps, but I speculate that something has rendered possible where a kinetic war between the U.S. and China has been avoided and managed to handle that situation in a more ideal manner. So I think we saw evidence that it implies that might be the case, what Trump did last night. And I want to know what everybody thinks about that. So thank you for the mic.
Thank you, AQ. What do you
Well,
think?
our elections went from China through Shanghai into Venezuela. That was like the route because the 6 companies or 4 of the 6 companies that that operated or manufactured the software and the machines came out of Venezuela. Now as far as overseas servers that had access to voter data in real time, that includes Turkey, and that also includes Britain. The Five Eyes. The Canada. I mean, this was what we knew at the time. So, and like I said, there's a big part of this. A big part of this is going to be now current director of the CIA, Ratcliffe. So, because Ratcliffe in January of 2021 was Director of National Intelligence, DNI. He had Tulsi's position back then in Trump's first term at the end. And at the time, because Q reminded us, he was due, he had 90 days to get a report done. And this report was specifically in reference to Trump's executive order on election interference by foreign entities. So DNI, Director Ratcliffe at that time had to put together this report. And when he put together the report, he himself stated clearly at the end of the report, this was the Views on Intelligence IC Election Security Analysis. This was the name of the report, stated January 7, 2021, signed by Ratcliffe. And he closes, in that same spirit, I am adding my voice in support of the stated minority view based on all available sources of intelligence with definitions consistently applied and reached independent of political considerations or undue pressure, that the People's Republic of China sought to influence the 2020 U.S. federal elections and raising the need for the intelligence community to address the underlying issues with China reporting as outlined above. And when he says above, he lists, it's only a 3-page report. So, and remember, this was done January 7th, 2021. The timing of that was important because in order for his report, if his report came back and proved that there was election interference by foreign entities, then that would have enacted at that point in time Trump's executive order 13848. And if that's the case, then everything that happened during the lockdowns makes sense, including all of those fucking barges and container ships being locked out of the United States along the East Coast and the West Coast, all of the operations that took place. See, now it's easy to understand that a war was fought because we're not going to fight one now and the world will see that. There will be no kinetic war with China. There will be no civil war here. So it's just going to be information, and it's going to force the truth. You know, the truth is a force of nature, you know, and yeah, once it gets out for one state, it'll travel like fucking lightning, you know, and don't worry about the information getting to us and what the TV will or won't do. You know what I mean? We all know Trump controls as far as the button is concerned, it's both he and his guy Jay Clayton at the FCC that actually manage that button, you know, together with FEMA and one other agency, you know, as far as the EBS is concerned. So that's, you know, and as far as letting us know, this is the information that we seek to come out. And what Trump just put out on his Truth Social is empirical evidence of China interfering in the elections from the NSA. Now, timing is important because these emails that Trump put out are dated November of 2020. I just told you about a letter from DNI Ratcliffe that had to be closed on January 7th of 2021. So basically what I have in front of me on my laptop is proof that this happened and proof that it was Ratcliffe's report that triggered what happened in so much as the lockdowns and what preceded following after January 2021. I mean, it's becoming clear as day. I'm sure we're going to get a lot more, but this is exactly what I see. And remember, right now he is CIA Director Ratcliffe, and he's overseeing the dissemination of this intelligence that we're getting. So basically, this also co-signs for me everything that he fucking releases. Remember, he was one of the few people in Congress, you know, that helped Trump, you know, get through the 2 Russia hoaxes. You know what I mean? And what else? What other hoax was there? Something else. I forget. There were so many. But yeah, this is this is the beginning of what I believe will be a lot of D-class. You know, and remember, one truth leads to another. You know, one truth and one narrative thread leads to another. It's kind of like discovery when you have a court case, you know, because you have to show the other side what you have, you know. So by using this as the thread to pull the 2020 election, it leads into everything else, you know, most importantly, child trafficking. So there you have it. I see we have JP up here. Would love to hear his thoughts about that too, as well as everyone else's.
Yeah, for sure. I don't see any of that. Did you? Okay, you let him up. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yep, he's up here and can speak. As I can see now, I don't see anybody requesting to speak, and I don't see any hands. And for those that don't know, I'm on my phone, but Jenny is doing this from her laptop.
My desktop, and I hate it. I'm going to do it from my phone from now on, guys. But hey, I tried.
Who cares? It's all about the intent, so long as we get the message out.
Go ahead, JP. Your mic's unmuted.
Yeah, I think that was a really good speech he gave last night. You know, just kind of watched it 3 times now, just trying to pick up on the nonverbal and the verbal cues. And one thing that he says is he lets the major news networks broadcast freely over our airwaves. So I think there's a line being drawn there because they all pulled out. And if you watch what CBS and what they're all putting out today, CBS put out a post this morning that says that all of his election interference evidence has been fact-checked by them and it's all false. So it seems that like we're at kind of that point now where people are drawing their lines in the sand and really thinking about it. You know, Rubberduck has said something that kind of sparked an interesting thought of like, why Trump really didn't attack this, why Joe Biden was in office, because then technically he would be trying to subvert Joe Biden's presidency, trying to, like, just like they did to him in his first presidency, and he didn't want to get caught up in that whole he said, she said. So this is just the way that the process need to play out. And I think that a lot of us, are not used to this slow grind, but like we've always been talking about, this is a lot of different things that have happened that they have to untangle. And for Trump to come out and say that China interfered in the 2020 election, that explains why he was revoking student visas. That's why it explains a lot of the H-1 visas he's revoking of Chinese people. It really starts to make a lot of sense that these are, big words not to be taken lightly, because you're essentially accusing one of the three superpowers on this planet, us, China, and Russia, of meddling in U.S. elections, which those are some pretty big allegations to be made. And
That's an act of war, actually.
yeah, it is. And I think that people need to, in my humble opinion, there's a huge difference between China and the CCP, right? The Chinese Communist Party is not representative of China, just like technically all of this deep state is not representative of the American people. So I think Xi Jinping has been fighting the same thing in China that we've been fighting in the States. And I'm pretty sure that Xi Jinping was probably briefed on this whole thing, because it does create some tensions between Americans and Chinese. And that's what kind of lends you to also think that maybe we're a little bit closer to the end than we were just a few days ago, because now the big allegations are coming out. The meat of the problem is coming out. So I think that, this will be rapid at this point, and I think you don't go backwards from this, and I think this is all good stuff. And I always like that 72-hour rule, right? We'll see where we're sitting 2 days from now, and kind of
Glad we agree,
what is
JP.
being,
Glad we agree.
yeah, 72
That gives
hours.
us a full weekend to stack up a bunch of other shit too.
Hey,
Yeah,
Rubberduck,
JP, you didn't.
hang on,
I'm sorry, Jenny.
hang on. Can you bring up? Oh, he's already up here. Golden Age. Go ahead, AQ. I apologize. And then Dr. James, go after.
I just wanted to tell JP that I basically said everything he said right before he said it. But glad we're on the same page, bro. I appreciate it.
No, that's awesome. I just got in here, so that's good. So I mean, that's good to know that you're feeling this. That's not just me being a weirdo out in the middle of the desert by myself. I'm not trying to wander the desert for 40 years. Doesn't sound like a lot of fun. So, I think that this is good that we all kind of have this feeling, and I know that the strongest thing about this is I think a lot of our opposition is going to become our greatest allies, because it's the pessimistic people that don't feel that anything's ever going to change, and this is just political posturing right before the midterms. But I think that would win a lot of people over once we see action, right? Because words without actions aren't anything. So we're getting a lot of words, and we need to start seeing those actions.
Well done. Well said. Hey, Doc, what's up, brother?
Thank you, JP. Go ahead, Doc.
Hey, yeah, I just want to say a couple of things. Yeah, JP, and everybody said you're all spot on about China. Totally. Absolutely. The other thing, the 72-hour rule works like two ways, right? So we hear something, we wait and then say something on it, okay? In this particular case, what Trump did last night, is going to set off an avalanche of events. The biggest event I think is going to happen over the next 72 hours is the deep state is going to be talking to each other. They're going to be chatting. They're going to be figuring out, what the fuck do we do? Okay. You're going to see the media doing what they're doing, which is they out and out are calling the president a liar. So not only did they not broadcast something that was in the interest of the American people by not doing the speech, and CBS cut it off halfway, but now they're calling him a liar. They're going to lose their licenses. We're going to see the big three, ABC, NBC, CBS, go, and all their little affiliates. It's going to be tough on them. Too bad, so sad, bye-bye. That's one thing. But over the next 72 hours, I think what they're going to do is the NSA is going to be monitoring everything, right? Like literally everything. And they're going to pick up all this chatter, and it's going to be applied, right here at the end as they're, it'll be tacked on to whatever they've got on them now. And I think it'll be about 72 hours, you know, and then we're going to see some stuff fly. That's just my opinion. I mean, if I were playing this game, that's how I'd play it. It's time, and he's let the cat out of the bag. Okay, they know they've all had their people scour the server they set up and look at all the files and see what the hell's in there, and they're all like, "Holy shizzle!" And they're going to be chatting about it. So they're going to make plans, and so these plans will be known and thwarted as they happen. And yeah, I think we're in a great spot. This is going to be. I mean, we're going to learn a lot of bad stuff. But this is, I mean, the mass panic is almost going to be hysterical to watch. It'll be hysterical in one way or the other for everybody involved. And it couldn't happen to nicer people, right? Um, and I think a lot of us thought this would never, ever happen. But it's happening. We're here, right? And nothing can stop what has started, right? So, yeah, that was a great speech. And yeah, it was awesome. It's going to be interesting too because the media is going to double and triple down the next couple of days. And they know, I think they know they're going to lose their license. So they're going to just keep throwing crap out there, hoping it sticks or hoping some other event happens that makes everybody forget about it, like 9/11, all these things that it always happens right when stuff's supposed to come out. Boom, holy cow, and everybody forgets. So yeah, this is it, and it's awesome to be here. And thank you so much, Jenny. Thanks, bro. And yeah, it's good to see everybody today. This is a great day in America.
Amen. Let's go. All right. Golden Age, I saw you come up. Did you want to add to the conversation? And then if so, go ahead, Jersey, after Golden Age.
Yeah, please. So like JP, I'm just kind of getting in, but I agree with everything he said, and of course what I just heard Doc say. I think what's going to wind up happening is when the FCC pulls the license from ABC, NBC, CNN, whomever. I kind of think that Jenny, you'll get your own broadcasting from there. Doc will, and so will Rubberduck. So you guys are going to get to be, headliners, and so I think that's what's coming. Just my opinion. That's a joke, but I'm not a very good comedian. Would be nice though. My God, could you imagine you guys having airtime?
You don't want this duck on TV.
Actually,
Hey, I can do the producing.
No, we definitely want the duck on TV.
yes, Jersey and Duck on the same channel. Come on, that would be amazing.
Oh, come on. I love it. Thank
Right?
you. You'll be the first guest.
It would just be me yelling at you for eating on camera.
Exactly. I haven't done it in like a couple
I know.
weeks,
I've been listening. You've been doing well.
And interrupting a lot.
No, I'm not.
So I don't know if you guys also heard that I guess Mexico just had a 7.8 earthquake. I saw that. Yeah.
How long ago was that reported? I didn't hear that.
That was this morning. I saw.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a post on that. 7.8. Looks like it's somewhere in the middle of Mexico, toward the coast.
Interesting.
Yeah,
and as I hear that, less than an hour ago, I was watching a story airing on CNN, because I put on CNN during the day to see what the retards are talking about, and they're talking about underground trafficking tunnels in Mexico. So that's interesting too. So again, even though we know that there's a big overarching play and that everything is really scripted and controlled, it may seem like, yeah, the deep state's going to come and do this and they're going to do that, but they have no ammunition left. Remember, the last money they had was Soros's, and he put every penny he had into a registered charity in 2017. And it was about, who knows what it was, but, either he spent it or that was seized. And I think last night was a little bit proof of that because, he's one of the honchos here in the United States, that fund, as far as the election stuff. Not just the election stuff, but I guess you could say the discombobulation that goes on around the election, certainly the 2020. But we also know that it was George Soros through Hillary Clinton that brought the Dominion machines into the United States elections in 2014. CISA announced that, and that's somewhere in my feed, but that's a fact. That did happen.
Correct. And
if we do
go ahead, Jersey.
just real.
Hang on.
I was just gonna say real quick, if you guys do this, we should replace the view, and you guys could be on it. And we'll call it Ducks on the Pond.
That's funny. Go ahead, Jersey.
You'd be there right with us. All right, so I just have a question. I can't seem to get a handle on this, but what do you think that we're looking forward to? Like, what should we be paying attention to? That's what
To this, what we are talking about now, to be talked about on both Fox News and CNN. When we turn on the TV or when we get an alert on our phone from like CNN or Fox News, those are the two that I keep alerts on, again, so I could see what the surface level's talking about. But when you see that break with something that we're talking about, then you know that, the only thing we'll be talking about from that point forward will be what's happening on TV. And then, that's we'll be able to provide a little bit of backdrop for people, fill in with some crumbs, because the TV's still, it's going to report everything, but it may be slanted or maybe just crumbs or maybe a byline, but it will be more of the same. Trump opened the floodgates. That's it. He said everything you don't need to do anymore because everything passes through the 2020 election because it's the same players. So he only needed to pull one string. He can't do any more with the Epstein stuff. They passed a fucking legislation to open everything up. And then there's that whole battle with Trump is the antichrist pedo protector. And he's not going to go down that road again. So that's why I think by pulling this string, as you go further and further. Yeah. Oh, I cut out.
It's funny. As you use that word floodgates, that water main break that happened in LA yesterday. That was the floodgates. So I think for a lot of us, this the speech last night is it was soft disclosure for us because we've been
Yeah, and the day before that flood in LA, there was a flood in New York City too.
I didn't know that. Okay, so it's all lining.
A water main in Midtown.
Yeah, I saw that.
What do you make of those two?
Listen, it's like I don't know. Are they going to tell us about the underground wars that were fought? I mean, they told us they were training, our entire military in subterranean underground warfare. You know what I mean, and all that stuff. So, we heard.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
We have no empirical evidence, that many of the deep underground tunnels were flooded out. Many of the deep underground military bases, the DUMBs, were just flat out destroyed. You know what I mean? And, we also know and understood from folks that we were told that there would be many, many millions of people throughout the world, rescued and brought up from underneath. And that it would be somewhat commensurate with the amount of people that would be deleted from this earth, due to crimes against children and humanity. So, and that's the way I always pictured it. That's why I never saw the migrant. I know migrants are assets and all that stuff, and I understand the border, all the narratives that they ran. But at the end of the day, the whole immigrant thing, I always thought had to do with the necessary displacement of humans around the world. They needed to move people to different places. We needed the Western Hemisphere so that, if there are all of these people that, that will be brought up, because they were there, and I've interviewed people, firsthand, I know what happens underneath there, and we haven't even heard about the Zorro Ranch yet. So remember, we have to return to the Epstein narrative. We have to return to the alien narrative. We're going to return to the, to the John F. Kennedy narrative, to the 9/11 narrative, so, but I believe that all of this connects to that. And that's what I'm saying. So by pulling on this, and once the players are announced, you know what I mean? Remember, they got Al Capone with his taxes. You know what I mean? And we don't know who capitulated in terms of who rolled upwards on people. We think we know who the pedophiles are. You know what I mean? But then again, we don't really. We know about the island. We know about the people who went there, but I haven't seen any footage yet of them doing anything. It's all been, information based on documents and stuff that I guess could be used as circumstantial evidence in court. But we were also told that we have it all, that we have everything, and that it's been prosecuted. And that prosecution came through the Inspector General's office with Jeff Sessions starting in 2018 when he sent everything to Utah with a staff of 500 U.S. attorneys and their complete investigating staffs. I mean, how the hell do we think they ever got to 600,000 sealed indictments between 2018 and 2000, 18, 19, 20, 2025 was the last count. It got up to, it was 78,000 in 2018. And Q posted that graphic, how many sealed indictments there were. 78,000. That was 2018. There's over 600,000, or maybe just under 600,000 now, as we speak.
Each one of those can contain up to 99.
100. From 1 to 99, correct.
Okay, thank you, Rubberduck. All right, we got a few hands here. Go ahead, Miss Stellar.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you are open. I'm so glad I got the notifications. I love when you guys have duck spaces with Dr. James. You got health, JP. Oh my gosh, Jersey. I love Jersey. I am looking forward so much to the emergency system, the presidential alert, because deep state can't stop that, so because it is what it is, and it does feel like we're getting very, very close to the precipice too, don't you think, Rubberduck?
Well, if anything, last night was a hint. I mean, if the networks blocked out something as important as we're discussing today, like literal, prima facie evidence of election interference in 2020, and now nobody's talking about it because it wasn't on TV.
Exactly. And I know that there's been things that have been coming out more so that even if they tried to not do it, like have the president or like the emergency broadcast or whatever, if the like how they did with, I don't know, this is where Jersey's probably better at it. But I was reading that whatever it is that Trump does, it can bypass like the Amber Alert. So even if your phones don't show that there's notifications, or like how, sometimes remotely they can change, like for upgrades or whatever, they can make it so that you don't get certain notifications or whatever. But apparently, whatever it is through the presidential, through the EAS system will is bypass there. That will be whatever they try to do. They cannot bypass this from being said, I guess is what I'm trying to say, or being
The executive branch took control over the EBS system when Trump's guy at the FCC, Jay Clayton, was put in, and it was tested and proven when they sent the missile alert out to Hawaii, when an actual missile went up to try to assassinate Trump in Air Force One over northern Canada, up at like Greenland, up in that area, whatever. And that's when Hawaii got the incoming missile alert. So that was, combination of one, a notification, we have control of this. Number two, Trump is safe. Number three, they tried to assassinate the president. So that's kind of how that went.
Okay, yeah, and the reason why I was bringing that part up, the presidential thing, because in Nevada we've had some really funky stuff that had happened with the Amber Alert. 'Cause they also use them for like adults and stuff. So there was a person that went missing in northern Nevada, and Southern Nevada got all the EAS alerts, or was the opposite? Maybe it was Southern Nevada was where he's from, and Northern Nevada got all the alerts. Well, they ended up finding him dead. But the Amber Alert system, or that system, was not up and like it wasn't working. It happened a couple of times when they set out these different things, and I know that the Amber Alert systems were not. Everything's jacked up here in Nevada. So they were doing, and it was brought to the public over the last couple of weeks because of this one man and stuff. And well, anyway, so when I started reading that the president's one, so, even if the systems like in your state is jacked up, it looks like the presidential EAS system will override any other systems we have, I think is what I was trying to state. And that's because of what you were just saying, from what was done back a while ago. So I don't know if people have noticed in their states with jacked up Amber Alerts or alert systems, but I think that they're testing them for to show that it's jacked up, because we know when they came in. But for this
The
presidential,
one that Trump has control over is actually called the presidential EBS, like the presidential emergency broadcast alert system. Hold on one second. Because I actually did a post about it yesterday, and I'm going to put it up in the pill because it's, if anything, it's interesting. But what? Hold on, because it's worth it. Give me 2 seconds. I don't know why I post so much shit because I can never get
I
past.
heard it was Mars, the military auxiliary registry system.
Yeah,
Which
I have a post for that too that I'm going to share. You're brilliant for bringing that up, and you're absolutely right. Mars, yeah, the military, the military, all four branches, six branches of our military that we have now, they all have their alert system. But there is one that is specific to the president, and here it is,
Real
insulated.
quickly, Rubberduck, if you guys follow Derek Johnson, he talks about that Mars one often.
Yeah, well, also that's also double meanings exist. You know what I mean, and that's also what I believe. When they talk about, because I don't, I believe we're in a dome. So if you want to get to Mars, I think Elon doesn't go to Mars with SpaceX. I think Elon goes to Mars with his boring company, because I think that's how you got to get there underneath the ice wall. That's just me. That's just me. But that's what I think, and that's why they've been showing us. SpaceX is, it's a deception. It's a deception toy set. And Elon's been flying all his rockets and bouncing them off the firmament. It looks like a lake with a speedboat going over it. That's what it looks like to me. And I think that's part of what he's doing, because don't forget, they have to tell you, and don't forget their duality. So it would make sense that he has, one company, and not for nothing, and you could fact check this, his boring company collects more government contracts and has over the last 10 years than SpaceX. So they're much, much, much busier. So, and I have no doubt that company was used, like SpaceX is being used to wake everyone up to the firmament. But I believe that his other company, was definitely used at least between 2014 and 2017, when there was a kinetic war underground.
Yeah, to open people up
You know
to
what?
the tunnels. Okay, real quickly, everybody, I have an order here. So if you guys have a question, I see there's 6 hands up. So I don't know what order everybody was in, but I'm going to go to Tina Q. Tina Q, go ahead, and after Tina Q, go ahead, AQ, and then I believe it was JP, Dr. James. Okay, go ahead, Tina Q.
I just wanted to tell everybody that Trump left Washington to go to the FIFA game where he's going to stay at Trump Tower. And at the same time that he was leaving, Dan Savino, and he also went on the Qatar plane. Dan Savino posted 3 hours ago his only post of today, a 35-second video, and we know what drop 35 is. So I just wanted people to be aware of that. He's going to give out the trophy tomorrow. He's going to go to the game. If anything happens, God forbid, we know he's okay. So I just find that interesting that he posted that 35-second video when Trump is wheels up to go to New York.
Thank you, Tina Q. All right, go ahead.
And by the way, the name of that system is called the National Presidential Alert System.
Thank you, Rubberduck. I'm making sure I don't say the other word.
Ha ha!
All right, go ahead, AQ.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Jenny. And happy Q Day, everybody. This is probably maybe the best Q Day of the year yet, right? And, Rubberduck, you said something poignant, very interesting about Soros and his pennies, whatever you want to call them. I think that, Sun Tzu, right? Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. I don't think that, I mean, they're still pulling in revenue. That's why this shit show is prolonging. And, you can see that on display with all the fraud, right? And all the money sent to Ukraine. I think that's probably a part of the deep state's, pocketbook or purse or whatever you want to call it. So, but he's strategically getting these people to run out of resources and be at odds. They're against each other. This is what is absolutely happening, and I think you illustrated that by what you said. But there's definitely they're running out of money, and they're fighting with each other and exposing each other and chinks in the armor. So it's pretty awesome. Anyway, that's what I had to say. So
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. All right, go ahead, Dr. James. Then we'll go to JP and then Stellar. Go ahead, Dr. James. Dr. James, where you at? Go ahead, JP. There you go. Go ahead, Dr. James.
I was just going to say real quick. This morning, the FCC came out and said that Starlink and T-Mobile are going to be working together, and Apple as well. So if we're really talking about what Rubberduck was just talking about, things starting to make more sense when you're talking about Starlink running cell phone systems means that they can't interrupt a message like that. So there's a lot of little things that happen too that we're starting to see as well.
Hey, JP, I thought I heard a year or so ago that isn't Starlink already on our phones?
Yeah, it's already on our phones, and T-Mobile owns 90% of the 5G sites. So when we're talking about cellular networks, T-Mobile pretty much really runs everything. And now you're talking about Apple and T-Mobile going direct to Starlink. I think that's a very interesting kind of like this little data point to keep in your head.
So that should be, so if that all goes down, right, then we should be good with our phones.
Yeah, there would be no disruption to our phones. Even if they cut the underwater cables trying to destroy the internet, it all kicks over.
Awesome. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. Thank you so much, JP. We love your input, my friend.
Thank you, JP. Is Doc? Can you talk now, Doc? I couldn't hear you
I
before.
think so. Yeah. Can you
Here
hear
he
me?
is. Go ahead, Doc.
You're good.
Yeah, I've been in the middle of a huge thunderstorm and I've been losing connection left and right. So, dang. Yeah. Actually, JP, you made me think of something. Normally I'll post something and get at least a little interaction or something, right? Like this is just a few months after I was on, maybe a year after I got back on the platform. I posted something about Elon and T-Mobile that, just in my opinion, just what I was seeing, that I thought, based upon things I knew from inside the corporation there, that Elon was going to try to do a buyout of T-Mobile at some point and integrate their stuff. That post disappeared in like 5 seconds. It was just gone. Right? I tried to repost it, gone. I don't know. It was just like boom. So in any case, I've been thinking for a long time. It may be on my timeline, but like nobody saw it. You know what I mean? Like nobody, like one, two people. It was like boom. It's weird. So, here's the thing about T-Mobile. And actually, I wanted to talk about Source, but the T-Mobile thing, it made me think. Uh, T-Mobile is owned by Deutsche Telekom. Okay, does that make sense? T-Mobile is owned by a foreign interest. So this is going to ultimately come back down to, at some point, their CTO. The last CTO I knew in there was English. British, English. He was Neville, whatever. And interesting, his name is Neville because that's someone else I wanted to talk about, a different Neville. But yeah. So I don't know if T-Mobile can be separated somehow from Deutsche Telekom, then I could see where that would be really good for this country, right? Because they do have the towers. But as it stands right now, there's going to have to be some type of separation before it could be a national security platform, if you know what I mean, right? There can't be any foreign interest or ownership on anything dealing with NatSec. So I don't know. I see that resolving down the road. But the thing I wanted to talk about actually was, you mentioned Soros earlier, RD, and that Soros's money was gone and that was it. So like Soros, I see, was for the Europeans, he was like he was the point guard, right? He had a certain amount of money to work with, like a shill in a casino, and he played it and he won for a lot of years. And then he lost in the end because all gamblers lose, right? Um, or for whatever reason he lost. That being said, so yeah, his money's gone. Um, what does that mean? That means the families themselves, the actual power behind him, those people are dipping into their pocketbooks, selling their assets. They can't get money from USAID anymore as their cash flow, so they're having to reach into their own pockets for cash flow. They didn't want to ever do this. They've never ever had to do this since like the 1760s, probably. Right? So this is new. So yeah, Soros is that's I think that's crushed, right? Alex is like not his father, and good grief. Okay, so that's one
Well,
side.
he's
And
under
then
the close watch and eye of Uma, so we're not worried about that.
yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. So then the other side, you were talking about, and several people have talked about China and the differences between China and the CCP. And she kind of being Trump over there and getting rid of the deep state, right, which is the CCP. Well, So when we see news headlines, or when Trump says like the CCP has done this or done that, right? Well, who's the Soros for China? It's Neville Roy Singham. Okay, he's the billionaire philanthropist. He's an American, and he's there, and he runs all that crap against the U.S. So he's the guy funding all the stuff that Soros is funding. Okay, so every time you hear about election fraud, and you see Soros also was involved in those companies too. Neville Roy Singham is the guy on the other side of the world. And so when they bring him down, that's when the CCP crap stops. Um, I see. I see that as a huge thing, but nobody talks about him really. Tori Myers was talking about him, I think, the other day, but he doesn't get much press, right? It's kept on the low, and everything's called CCP. That guy is the one running a majority of these ops. Oh, and the last loop is H-1B stuff you were talking about a lot earlier. Like I'm a professor, right? And I'm not teaching right now. I'll probably go back in a couple of years, whatever. But in the United States, there are 40,000 professors here on H-1B visas. 40,000 foreign professors in our universities. Okay. What the heck is that all about? Right? So, yeah, hopefully a lot of those will go with the H-1B mods here. But I mean, it's not good, right? And we wonder what's going on. And I mean, I experienced it at universities myself, where I'm an American, and I had professors that hated all Americans. When I was doing my PhD, I was crushing everything, and I came up one professor from Turkey. He was like, "You are not going to get through the program. I'm going to fail you, no matter what you do." And it was like, okay, let's see how that works out. And he like literally told the dean, he's like, "Yeah, no, I don't like him. I don't like Americans. He doesn't deserve a PhD." It's like, okay, so they just shut him down, right? But it happens all the time. And this was like 14 or 15 years ago, somewhere around there, right? This has been going on a long time. So we got to get the professors out. And so, yeah, that's about it. I'll land the plane. And it's a great space, y'all, covering so many topics. The Trump speech is phenomenal. Wait till Monday,
Thank
right?
you. Thank you, Dr. James. All right, Rubberduck, do you want to add to any of that? You're a little quiet over there. That's not you, was it?
Nah, Doc seals his posits off with a nice bow.
Go ahead, Rubberduck. Do you want to add to any of that? Or any?
I believe that given the 72-hour rule, and what JP mentioned the same thing earlier, I believe that also gives us the rest of this weekend to keep an eye on this dump. Number one, number two, gives us the weekend to stack a lot more shit, and three, like we're always open and ready for, and that's nothing but a good old fashioned suicide weekend.
Love it. I mean, unfortunately, people do that, but
Well, look, stage is set. It's Friday. He just hit
yeah,
the D-class button. We know there's been panic in D.C., so you know what I mean? It's like, but again, here we sit knowing what Trump said, but, I don't know what the viewership was that was lost last night. I should have probably looked that up before I came on, but that's a lot of people that now have to rely on us if we can even get to them, or whatever the mainstream media says about it today, which, as we all know at this point, is not much. So I also see that, though, as, another one of those things that have to come to pass. You know what I mean? And I believe that the EBS is the only way. And then, but once you go EBS, who knows what direction you're going after that? What do you do? Close it up and say, all right, let's go back to work, because we know that the world will change after that. So that's why I always say that lightly, because if that missile alert that Hawaii got back in 2019, if we would have all gotten that, you would have had a shitstorm across the United States,
That
So
Delta's coming up on the 27th of this
I
month, I think,
know, I
right?
know, I
It's like
know.
10 days from today.
I know. I
Hmm.
know. Waiting on it, but like I said, Q talks about it more than once. It's not the traditional EBS where boop, boop, although who knows what it will look like, you know what I mean? But there is a system installed specific to Trump's administration, back in 2018. And that was the presidential emergency alert system. And so, and that was also tested. If you guys remember, I forget what year it was tested, but that separate system was tested aside from the missile alert that was sent out, after that.
Thank you, Rubberduck. Okay, I saw some hands. Go ahead, AQ.
Yeah, real quick, I just wanted to compliment Dr. James with the insights and feedback regarding Neville. That's on point, and it reminds me of the details and layers. The analogy can be drawn to Richard Branson and Peter Nygaard, right? Those people that are kind of behind the scenes that have been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, Peter
watch
got
what it,
hosed.
yeah, exactly. But watch how these. I mean, it's possible that Neville might capitulate and then redeem himself as much as he possibly could, or something. But it was insightful words. So yeah, that's all I had to say. Thank you.
Doc, what do you have to say to AQ? Gave you a little cosign.
Thank you so much for the props, AQ. And yeah, let's hope. I don't know. I think the only way Neville's gonna go down is like the ultimate dirt nap. I don't see that guy giving up. I really don't. It could be a suicide weekend thing, but probably not this weekend, right? Oh, speaking of suicide weekend, hey, did anyone track how many actors died in the past week? It's like everybody. Does anyone know?
No. Do
It
you?
was a lot. No, it was a lot though. It's like every 15 minutes you're seeing 77 years old, 63 years old, 44 years old. And then, like all these people fucking dying. It's like star of this show, this soap opera. I was like, are you kidding me?
Well,
I
they
don't
were
know. I
all
think I'll ask Rock
trying to
later.
get jab, Dr. James. Hello.
I think those are script changes.
There you go. Makes sense.
That makes
Absolutely,
sense.
right? I saw Eureka come up here, and now I don't see him anymore. Okay, and I think Golden Age, at one point you had your hand up. Did you want to say anything or add to any of this conversation that we are having here? Golden Age, that's you. Okay, go ahead, AQ. Can you guys hear me?
Wait, what? Me? I didn't have my hand up.
Oh, you don't have your hand up? Okay, I
No.
see a hand raised. Okay.
That's because you have 5 screens.
I hate this Rubberduck. I'm not doing it again on my computer. I hate it. Okay. Anybody else want to ask a question while we are here? We've got about 20 more minutes left. So we're here for you. Rubberduck, go ahead and talk away. What do you want to talk about next?
I was eating, so I couldn't talk.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
He knows the rules.
Yeah, it was a great cheeseburger.
No eating.
That's Jersey's thing to do.
Well, truth be known, I actually am from New Jersey. I was born and raised in a place called Nutley, New Jersey, where Martha Stewart is from.
Oh yeah,
You're still chewing a little bit. You're trying to hide it, aren't you?
dude.
Yeah,
I used to play in a band. I used to play in a band in Nutley. It was there was this place called JENNI's. It was a nightclub, live bands, 70s, 80s, right? Cover bands. I was like 17. I had a fake ID. But is it still there? Was JENNI's still there in Nutley?
Gosh, I left there when I was around 10, so I really don't know. And I'm 62 years old, so I don't know how old you are.
Yeah, I'm a couple of years older than you.
I thought
Yeah,
so.
okay. Okay. It was there when you were there then. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so yesterday, I moved to South Carolina from LA. What was it? 5 years ago. And I had a friend out there who was going to USC. He's now a professor. I was talking with him yesterday. He called me out of the blue. And he happens to be a political science professor at Georgetown University. And I got to tell you, It was the most excruciating phone call ever. Um, he knows my politics, and he talks about those fucking MAGA people. And I did everything I could to not go off, because he knows that I am, MAGA, obviously. But the conversation stayed cordial. And what's really good about it is that, I mean, this is growth for me because normally I would have been in an argument with him, but I didn't go there. Uh, I think it's growth, just like with Trump, what he does. I mean, he puts it out there, but he also knows he needs to unify the country. And the statistics for people wanting register, when you register to vote, you have to have ID. I mean, it's an 80-20 issue. So by that speech yesterday, love it or not, like it or not, the country's behind that. So I think that was, as much as I was talking about wanting to see JFK get rolled out or something, I think what was done is really a great step forward on the scheme of things. And I like the 72-hour rule. I'm really excited about what's going to happen over the weekend and certainly into next week.
Thank you, Golden Age. All right, let's see. AQ, I still see your hand up. Is it not up? Go ahead. No? All right.
I'll say something.
Oh, what?
It must
Oh,
be
go ahead.
stuck. I didn't raise it on purpose. But go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to bring attention to, as we were talking, I'm just thinking, and we've got a lot of weather-related stuff happening. The earthquake in Mexico, which is over right by California in that area. And then we got Texas, major flooding in Texas. Same thing in LA. And then there's fires that we've all talked about. The smoke is actually hitting us today. It's horrible. And I feel so sorry for the people who are at the beginning of it. But so, I mean, I know there's a storm upon us, but I just wanted to say there is a lot of things happening. There you go.
Agreed.
Oh, correction. By the way, that club JENNI's is in over in the Delaware Water Gap. The thing in Nutley, I think the name of that club was Aunt Kate's. So anyone's looking those things up. But yeah, after all these years, there were a lot of clubs, But yeah, Jersey's awesome. And yeah, I can't talk about Jersey girls.
Thank you, Dr. James. Okay, I just unmuted Dolby. You just came up. I don't see you, but I did unmute your mic. So if you guys, if you come up here, you are welcome to speak. And C-Doll as well. If you guys, do you see him up here, Rubberduck? Dolby, go ahead, Dolby. You requested mic. It's unmuted. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dolby.
Dolby has 0 followers, so I don't know if Dolby knows how to use a mic yet.
Okay, what about C-Doll? We'll take a look. C-Doll, your mic is unmuted. You guys, if you request a mic, please use it. Otherwise, don't request it because this is different. I'm not a forever space. I do it for 90 minutes. Go ahead, C-Doll.
I just wondered when the EO 13848 will kick in after last night's speech.
Are you talking about 13848 executive order?
Yep.
You want to know when that kicks in?
Right.
Well, it kicked in the day that he wrote it. I mean, but again, you want results. It wasn't broadcast last night, so until the TV confirms everything, we're not going to see any arrests. If that's what you mean by kicking in. So
No, I meant the seizure because they said they would seize assets, of any foreign country. When is that going to be public? Publicly acknowledged, I guess I should say.
Well, I think part of that's been made public by the tariffs that he's been putting on other countries, because it's kind of commensurate to the amounts that they would have been, whatever assets they had, at least publicly, But if you take the tariffs that he's been charging these countries month over month, you know what I mean, and I guess add them up, it will all equal out. And again, this is if they decide to make that public. And that's up to the president. I guess it's up to the operation. Are they going to go public and say, hey, listen, Trump put these executive orders out. These are the people that violated them. We pulled out Madero, right? From, but when we're going to do all these others, if that's the way they're going to do it, are they going to go to Cuba, do it there? Are they going to go country by country, pull these people out? Are we going to get to see, Hillary and all the other ones that we, know about, Obama, that whole clan? There's a lot, and we're all waiting for the same thing. We're just paying attention to, whatever comms or little crumbs we can grab that, may point us in a direction.
Definitely. What do you think about El Salvador? I see El Salvador president was just up to meet with him the other day, so I just wondered if that was all going to go through too, like Venezuela. Not that he would capture El Salvador, but
I believe every state in the Western, I believe every country in the Western Hemisphere will be given statehood under
really,
the
really,
under the Republic of the United States. Yeah,
wow.
he posted a map of it 2 days ago on
I
Truth
s-
Social.
yeah, I saw the map, but I thought, is he
Yeah,
going
no,
to?
he tells you and publicly what I mean. He's talked about Greenland. Every time he's talked about it, he's I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna grab Greenland. He may sound weird, braggadocious, but the de facto king of the world, gets to take what he wants and make it right, and thank God up to this point, he seems to be acting, righteous in accordance with what we were told how he would be. He hasn't turned his back yet on us. He's got the military with him. He's got conservative, Republicans. He's got the conspiracy theorists with him. The only people left really are the really fringe people and the ones that are guilty of something. You know what I mean? So, but it affects us, because we're the ones that are trying to scream to the world from the top of the cliffs, hey, wake up. Because, the more people that wake up to this, that's how quickly it goes. And it'll take as long as it has to until the last person can get in a space like this and understand what we're talking about. Because the TV's not doing it. I mean, it would literally be better if, like last night or even today, if NBC, that's what Trump should do. That's what Scavino should do. You know what you should do, Dan, if you're listening? Take one of these shows and tell Jay Clayton to pull their licenses and plug this show into it next week and watch the ratings that you'll get. And just you don't need to show our faces, just show the fucking speaker panel, and put it on TV and watch what happens, if you want to wake people up. So I guess to answer your question in short, that's like the only way at this point, unless we see some sort of capitulation publicly by the TV people. And I don't know what that looks like. What are these assholes going to get arrested on TV, delivering the morning news or the weather, and they're going to come and, is it going to be something like that? The Supreme Court, they're out of session. Congress, they're out of session. So everyone's on vacation. You know what I mean? So, but one thing I do know is they can't be arrested while they're in session. So, there's always that possibility too. But Trump was the one that put the line in the sand last night when he said, because we want a safe and secure we want a safe and secure midterm election. So he himself laid the mandate. So he'll do whatever he has to, up to and including securing the elections and whatever that involves. So, and part of this, and he laid that as the foundation as why he ordered this declassification, because it encompasses everything. So that was him saying, "Here, you take it." Now, all of my civilian agencies, he said, he even mentioned Radcliffe, Cash, all of them. You guys, you can take this, you can prosecute this, because Congress ain't going to do shit, Senate ain't going to do shit, Supreme Court ain't going to do shit. So if you guys want to go out and prosecute this, have at it. And now we're going to have to wait and let that marinate and see if anything comes of it. That's where we're at.
Thank you, Rubberduck. All right, go ahead, Health. Go ahead. Your mic's unmuted.
Hey, I'm just saying to my friends. That's all, man. I'm excited about my president. It was big hearing him last night, and yeah, I'm just really waking up. It's morning for me, so air quality is bad out here. Just trying to get myself ready for later, man. But hey, shout out to y'all. Y'all my favorite people. Nothing but love for you. Shout out to President Trump. Shout out to the future that we headed to. And it just feels good to be at this point. That's all. Yeah, nothing but love.
Thank you,
Peace.
Health. Thank you for being here, my friend. All right. Let's see. We have Tina Q and then BMG Benji. If you have a question, please raise your hand so I know if you have a question for Rubberduck. Go ahead, Tina Q, and then Dr. James.
Rubber Duck, I just wanted to ask you this one question and I forgot. We know Trump does everything for purpose. Why do you think he, out of all the things he could have posted, that he posted those 2 emails today on Truth? Why do you think he picked those 2 emails? Just your opinion.
Because those are 2 emails sent between the NSA that talked about the IC, which is the intelligence community, covering up what actually happened. And I have it right here in front of me. And it also links back to the report that I mentioned earlier that was due, and by the way, it wasn't 90 days, it was 45 days. That was due 45 days. And because, and this was the Ratcliffe report that was due 45 days after, I guess, after a certain date and time. I forget when that was, but it came in on January 7th of 2021. We talked about that early at the beginning of the space. But the 2 emails that were declassified, again, they're to and from people in the NSA. And like one of them talks about, we have deliberately massaged our own pending PDB to avoid any direct links to the election. Does anybody know what PDB stands for in this type of vernacular?
Did you say
Anyone?
PDD?
No, P is in Paul, D
Papa.
is in David, B is
Yeah.
in Bob.
Oh, PDB. Oh, a presidential daily briefing. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, stupid. Okay, so now I can now you have context. Okay, so we have deliberately massaged our pending presidential daily briefings to avoid any direct links to the election. The massive report we have been waiting on has been chopped up into 13 reports that likely will not get out until late next week. Many / all of them will be cross-posted into redacted or downgraded to redacted so that can be more readily incorporated into the 45-day piece if needed. And the 45-day piece being what I just referenced to you from Ratcliffe earlier. And it's signed, blah, 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 whatever, and it's Strategic Intelligent Analyst. That's their title. And underneath it's redacted, they're part of their title, redacted China and North Korea strategic assessments. That's this person's area of strategic intelligence and analysis, blah, blah, blah. So the other email that they were also referencing, this was from 2020, November 23rd, and it's in reference to that one, and it says deliberately massaging elections PDB. And then I think we have 2 albeit related things
Is
going
that
on
one with
here.
the one with Nikki? Nikki
Hang
is
on,
the respondent in that email.
hang on real quickly. Hang on, guys. I've got to cut this in 7 minutes. I've got to, because I'm taking off on Sunday. So, and I do believe we have a few more questions. So, Robert, go ahead and finish what you wanted to say. You as well, Dr. James, and then we'll go to BMG and then Jersey.
Not yet. No, what I'm reading is this is from Trump's post earlier today. He posted 2 screenshots of 2 of the emails that were part of the dump. And basically this is, speaking about having members of the press on the take, essentially being paid off. and also, keeping from his daily briefings, what these real threat assessments were with regards to China, specifically to China. So that's, and again, I told you earlier, this report that it seems like they're talking about / worried about, so that therefore they're trying to massage Trump about it. So then here comes Ratcliffe on the last day and flat out says, I am adding my voice in support to the stated minority view based on all available sources of intelligence, with definitions consistently applied and reached, independent of political considerations or undue pressure, that the People's Republic of China sought to influence the 2020 U.S. federal elections, and raising the need, therefore, for the intelligence community to address the underlying issues with China reporting outlined above. And part of the outlining reported above, I'll post a link to, it also connects to both of the emails that you see in Trump's post. Actually, this is what I was working on, and then had to come on here with Jenny. Couldn't be late.
Yeah, just yeah. Well, let us know.
But I'll finish it when we're done here.
Okay, awesome. Okay, go ahead, BMG.
Okay, so my question is, you say that they're gonna about the elections, right? My question is, do you think citizens can do anything about it? Like, I know that they're investigating fraud and everything, but can citizens go out and do anything to prevent them from doing illegal activities, or no? Or we just have to wait for the government to do anything?
The only what you can do locally, as far as getting involved with your board of elections, you can get involved with your board of education. You can attend those meetings. A lot of them are on Zoom. Lots of states have their own, state national assemblies. They talk a lot about common law and stuff like that. So, but to the extent of like enforcing the law, you and I are like the same. We can't.
Yeah,
It's like we can't run around with our Glocks, because we'll get shot.
yeah, exactly.
But I tell you what, you see these people on TikTok. I do see them, and these are the people that get together in groups and they go after the pedophiles and stuff like
because
that.
why I was asking is I see everybody waking up, but they're all, I feel like people post, right? It's good that people are commenting, but I feel like we got to do more in a sense, like go bring awareness to it, like outside, go him down those people in person. Like, yeah, posting at them, tweeting at them's cool, but I don't know. I feel like we could do more in person.
We can't
to speak
find
to
them. We don't have proof of life of these people either. The TV says they're alive, but we've never seen them, nor can we ever get close to them. Let alone,
Exactly.
are they wearing a fucking mask, or who knows what these people are up to? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Thank you, Benji.
I appreciate
All right,
it.
go ahead, Miss Jersey.
Thank you, brother. Good job, man. Way to come up and shout. I love that. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity to speak. You feel me?
Anytime you see me on the space with Jenny here, you're welcome to come up anytime.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Jersey. Jersey girl, are you there? Are you eating?
I'm not eating, and yes, I'm here. And I don't have a question. You already answered it.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you guys, everybody, and Rubberduck, you probably heard I'm not doing shows next week, so I'll be back the following week, obviously, and I will.
If I go on a space, will you be around to jump on one?
I'll probably be able to be there to listen and maybe
Okay.
in a little bit, but yeah, me doing shows, it'll be the following week. So, Dr. James, did you have something? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, just like two quick loose ends, I guess, to tie up. One was somebody asked about 13848, and here's the deal. Like, if they yanked all of Soros's money, right? Alex Soros is not going to come out and say, "Hey, they stole all my billions," right? They took them, because he's going to go around to his millionaire buddies who still thinks he's a billionaire, and he's going to like get everything for free from them because they think he's still rich and powerful, right? So he's going to still play up the role. He's not going to announce that, "Oh shit, they took all my assets," right? So he's still going to do what he can. Regarding the other thing that was asked about, you broke about this hemisphere, the Western Hemisphere. NATO's gone. The new alliance is going to be the Western Hemisphere of the Americas. And, what's wrong with an empire if it's led by nobility, if it's led by integrity and honor, right? So, and maybe it's not an empire, maybe it's just the American protectorate. Like, if you mess with anything in this part of the world, we're going to end you. Right. So I think that's more what it's going to. This could be the beginning of the great American empire, right? And it could be something great for the world. So I see that as why he's showing that map, right? And that's it. Jenny, was an awesome space, bro. It is an incredible space, man. And always great to hear you. And thanks for letting me up.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Jenny. Love you, honey.
Love you too. Love you, Dr. James. Love you, Jersey. Love you all here. And again, I want to say thank you guys all for being a part of the Revival of America. Because of you, I am 6 years, going into my sixth season today. And we are growing strong. And we're going to be doing a lot more, me and my guests. We're going to be doing a lot more good stuff coming here in the future. So we're not going anywhere, everybody. So I just want to say thank you guys to my audience and my guests. God bless you all. Have a great weekend.
Enjoy your vacation, honey.
Thank you, sweetie. Love you guys. Thank you, everybody.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.